He was just a farmer, she thought, until he grasped the blade. Vale's claws ripped the Imperial seal free and slapped the seizure order across the granary door. The metal pinged under the impact. Human loaders froze mid-step, crates hovering on anti-grav sleds. She strode forward, data ledger extended. Sign, load the harvest, Imperial decree. The tallest human blocked the loading ramp. One calloused hand gripped the gate latch. Eli Rourke, the colony manifest, named him. Dirt-streaked overalls hung loose on a frame too lean for labor. He met her gaze, no flinch. No, Vale's frills flared. Humans broke under stares. This one stood planted. Sign the ledger or forfeit everything. Loaders shifted, crates tilted. Eli's fingers didn't budge. The gate buckled inward half a centimeter. Vale's optics zoomed. No tremor in those knuckles, no sweat, just pressure even like clamping a vice. Imperial law binds you. Remote clamps hissed from her shuttle. They latched the ramp's edge. Pulling, the gate groaned. Eli leaned in. One shoulder forward, clamps stuttered, overloaded, sparks flew. Vale's tail lashed. Marshal Keth, now. Boots thundered from the tree line. Marshal Keth barreled into view. Scaled bulk towered over the loaders, chest plated in ritual scars. He seized Eli's arm, twisted. The human pivoted, not away, into it. Keth's chain whip uncoiled. Links snapped around Eli's wrist. Keth yanked. Eli slid one boot, half a step, then planted. Keth heaved again, muscles corded under scales. Eli's arm extended straight, no bend, no give. Vale's drone feed captured it. Keth growled. Move, worm. Controlled into Keth's chest. The marshal staggered back. One pace. Chain taut between them. Humans didn't counterweight like that. Vale's frills twitched. Keth roared, shoved Eli face first into the dirt, piled chains across his back. Public trial, Market Square, now. Keth dragged Eli through the colony paths. Chains rattled, loaders trailed, whispers spread. Vale followed, her shuttle trailed overhead. Eli walked, didn't crawl, dust caked his knees where Keth forced him down earlier. But his head stayed level, eyes forward. Keth yanked harder. Eli matched stride. Market Square boiled with colonists. Stalls ringed the dirt arena. Keth hurled Eli into the cordon center. Chains clanged against the barrier posts. He locked them tight. Crowd pressed in. Humans, 100 faces. Vale activated her record drones. 3 spheres buzzed free from her belt. They orbited the arena. Lens's word. Broadcast live to the sector hub. Lock the cordon. No escape. Keth flexed his claws, stepped to arena's edge, raised his voice. Colonists of Epsilon Rim, behold the trial of strength. Eli rose to his knees, chains pooled around him. Keth circled. This human defies Imperial seizure. Harvest belongs to the Empire. He will break. Or be broken. Chest even, breath steady. Vale's drones dipped closer, captured the stance. Keth sneered, stand. Eli slid back. 1 inch, then stopped. Rocked forward, Vale's tail stilled. Keth outweighed him 3-1. Scaled mass versus soft human flesh. Eli's hands flexed in the chains, not struggling, adjusting. Keth bellowed, shoved with full force. Eli's boots gouged furrows. 2 inches back. Then his shoulders squared, pushed back. Keth's claws slipped. He caught balance. Barely, frills on nearby aliens flattened. Vale's optics narrowed, the human's grip on the chain links. White-knuckled, but controlled, no wild pull. Keth reset. Yield. Eli's chained hands rose, braced Keth's elbow, held. Keth twisted free, snarled. Filth. Marshal face planted, dust exploded. Crowd gasped. Vale's drones hummed louder. Broadcast glitch. No clean feed. Keth surged up, roared. Eli waited, centered. One hand loose in the chain, wait. Vale zoomed. A link bent. Pride, impossible. Keth barreled again. Eli met him. Head-on, chained forearms blocked the rush. Keth's momentum halted. Dead stop. Scales scraped. Marshal reeled back, clutched ribs. Eli stood unmoved, breath even, chains draped loose. Vale's claw tapped her calm. Delay broadcast. Circled wary, humans crumpled in the first bind. Begged, this one. Adapted? No, just stood. Quiet. Eli shifted weight. Boots scraped dirt, drew a line. Keth lunged low, for legs. Eli jumped. Chains aloft, landed beyond reach. Keth overextended, face in dust again. Vale's frills folded. Drones captured every angle. Crowd pounded barriers. Chants rose. Human voices united. Keth rose slow, chest heaved. He glanced at Vale, eyes wide, not fear, doubt. Eli waited, hand on a slack chain link, casual like a gate latch. Keth raised a claw. Hesitated, the arena held breath. Keth's claw slashed air. A gravity collar whipped from his belt. It clamped Eli's neck mid-breath. Lock clicked. Vale's drone's word. Feed spiked. Colony safe limit 2 gravs. Keth cranked the dial. 3, 4, red line warning blared. Eli's knees buckled an inch, then locked. He straightened. Boots ground arena dust. No kneel, no gasp. Vale leaned forward, her frill quivered. Humans folded at 3, always. Bones powdered. This one stood. Chains dangled loose from his collar. Keth barked. Kneel, dirt clinger. Dial twisted. 5 gravs. Eli shifted weight. 1 foot forward, dust puffed. He walked 3 steps toward the arena's heart. Crowd roared, barriers rattled. Vale's claw gripped her podium. Impossible. Feed data scrolled, collar integrity green. Human vitals steady. Heart rate climbed 2 beats. Eli reached the keystone. Arena's central slab, 10 tons, carved monolith anchored deep. He bent. Fingers curled under edge, lifted. Stone groaned. Rose clean. No grind, no shatter. Eli pivoted, held it aloft 1 breath. Set it back exact. Surface flush. Uncracked, dust settled. Silence crashed. Keth staggered. Frill collapsed. What sorcery? Vale's comm crackled. Hub analyst scrambled. Adjudicator, confirm mass, keystone verified, human, unassisted. Eli turned, eyes level, breath even. Gravity collar hummed. 5 gravs pinned lesser frames. He ignored it like mist. Keth recovered, claws flexed. Bladed right, he hurled a ritual glaive. Blade thudded at Eli's feet. Edge gleamed, monomal edge, unbreakable, imperial forge mark. Take it, fight chained. Or yield. Crowd hushed. Vale's drones dove low, capture grip, stance. Human hands moved slow, deliberate. Eli crouched, grip blade flats, both hands, thumb pressed edge alignment, twist, snap. Metal shrieked, edge buckled, core fractured, glaive halves clattered, useless. Eli dropped shards, stood, collar still cranked. 5 gravs, he stepped over wreck, toward Keth. Marshall froze, scales paled. No, reforge right's unbreakable. Vale's heart thudded, her podium console flashed alerts. Blade analysis, thumb shear exceeded alloy spec by factor 8. Under grav load, Eli closed distance. Chains dragged, heavy now, he scooped slack link. Tested, loose, Keth lunged, claws out, no weapon, desperate rake. Eli sidestepped, minimal. Gravity dragged him down, he compensated. 1 hand snapped up, caught Keth's wrist, twisted. Marshall howled, joint popped. Eli released. Keth spun away, crashed to knees, clutched arm. Arena exploded, human chants thundered. Rurk, rurk. Vale's frills flared heat. Drones trembled in updraft. Eli halted, 10 paces off, watched Keth crawl, collar whined, dial maxed. Eli reached up, fingers pried collar seam, bent metal, collar split, fell clang echoed. Keth rose, 1 arm limp, glared, call adjuncts full squad. Vale's claw hovered calm, hub voice cut in. Negative, Marshall, adjudicator holds. She silenced channel, Eli waited. Boot tapped line in dust, same line from before. Keth circled, slow, ribs bruised from prior charge, doubt etched his stance. Vale zoomed drone, Eli's hands, calluses thick. Nails chipped, farmer scars, no augments, scans clear, how? Keystone lift replay looped in her overlay. Perfect form, no tremor. Humans lifted colony loads at 1 grav, this. Structural mastery, precision under crush. Keth feinted left, charged right. Eli met center, forearms blocked again. Keth bounced back, scales split on impact, blood beaded, Marshall wheezed. Yield. Or die? Eli shook head. Once, chains coiled at feet. He gathered them. 1 pull, link straightened. Bent one from before, Vale's breath caught. Chain pried earlier, under load, now straightened barehand. Keth saw it, hesitated. Arena pulse slowed. Chants faded to murmurs. Dust hung, Vale felt it. Shift. Marshall's eyes darted to her to exits. Eli stood ready, gravity normal now, but his poise heavier. Keth roared, final rush, claws wide. Eli ducked low. Gravity ghosted his move, smooth. He rose inside guard, shoulder drove Keth's chest, lifted. 2 tons, Marshall airborne, slammed down, back first. Arena quaked, keystone dust jumped. Keth gasped, still. Eli stepped back, chains pooled, watched chest rise, fall, slow, Vale's console pinged. Marshall vitals critical, fractures confirmed. No rise, crowd surged barriers. Imperial guards tensed, rifles raised, Vale raised claw. Hold! Voice steel, drones broadcast wide, hub frozen. Eli turned to her podium, met gaze, no challenge. Fact, Vale's frill tucked, first time, human eyes steady, hands loose, farmers plowed regolith, tamed storms. This one broke rights, unchained, she tapped comm. Trial, paused, evacuate Marshall. Guards moved, cautious. Keth groaned, dragged out. Eli waited, unmoving, chains at feet. Vale descended podium steps, boots clicked stone, close now, 10 paces, his scent hit her, sweat, earth. No fear, drone feed caught her approach. Crowd hushed again. She stopped. Claw extended. Not threat. Test. Name your colony right. Eli tilted head. No right, just work. Voice low, rough. Veil's scales itched. Work. Keystone as bale. Blade as twig. Collar as band. Hub chatter exploded in her ear. Adjudicator, quarantine subject, capability class 3. Eli shifted, picked chain remnant. Thumb tested link, straight, dropped it. Veil watched, precision lingered, not brute. Control, absolute. She nodded once. Stand down. Guards lowered rifles. Eli complied, turned to colony gates, walked out. Chains shed like rope. Veil lingered, arena empty now, keystone gleamed, unmarred, shard pile smoked. Her claw traced console, replay, lift, snap, break. Hub demanded report. She silenced it. Quiet fell, dust settled. Eli's line in dirt remained, unerased. Guards cleared debris. Veil climbed podium. Drones docked. Feed cut. Hub voice returned, urgent. Adjudicator Soren status? She stared at empty sand. Escalation confirmed. Human baseline redefined. Silence answered. She exhaled. Frill relaxed. First breach. Her watch. Eli reached colony edge. Fence hummed. He gripped post. Bent latch open. Walked through. Fields waited. Tractor idled. He climbed in. Engine growled, plow bit soil, straight furrow. No look back, Veil watched from drone relay, last frame. Human vanished in dust, her podium console dimmed, trial log sealed, Keth medevac bound, fractured, her claw drummed, quiet competence, decisive, underestimation cracked, arena gates sealed, wind whispered, stones silent. Keth slammed the arena gates wide, dust exploded inward, Veil gripped her podium rail, her frill spiked. Medevac had failed him, cybernetic braces locked his limbs now, but fury burned brighter. Trial resumes, he roared over the comms. Human filth evades sanction. Predator release authorized. Colony drones whirred overhead. Feed reignited. Imperial hub chatter flooded her link, queries, overrides, demands for spectacle. Veil's claw stabbed the console mute. Eli stood at field edge, tractor silenced, hands loose at sides. He had returned for water rations, her guards confirmed it. Now trapped again. Arena floor shuddered. Far gate groaned open. The Kresh beast lunged free. Scales rippled across its bulk, 3 tons of whiptail, fang-rimmed maw, claws that shredded plasteel. Imperial stock from core worlds, bred for enforcer trials. It charged straight for Eli, sand spraying in arcs. Crowd roar peeked through the feeds. Keth's voice cut in. Bleed him, human, entertain. Veil's breath caught. Eli did not run. He scanned the arena edge. Spotted the sandanker lines, taut cables pinning the floor plates against drift storms. Standard hazard control. Unbreakable synthrope rated for siege loads. Keth laughed through the link. Run or die, dirt grubber. Eli moved. He bolted left, parallel to the beast's charge. Kresh veered, tail lashing furrows. Eli reached the nearest anchor pylon first. One hand clamped the release lever, twisted. Cable snapped free with a whip crack. He coiled it mid-stride, arm over shoulder, farmers not in seconds. Beast closed, jaws gaped. Hot breath scorched sand. Eli spun, yanked the line hard, cable whistled, looped the Kresh's neck mid-leap. Beast hit the end of the tether, momentum yanked it sideways. Eli planted boots, braced. Synthrope sang taut, Kresh thrashed, claws gouging pits. Eli fed slack, circled right. Beast lunged again. He released a fraction, rope slacked, then hauled back. Loop tightened. Choke set. Veil leaned forward. Her console replayed the knot, sheepshank variant improvised from nothing. Eli's shoulders corded under his shirt. Not brute pull. Leverage drag used the beast's own charge against it. Kresh reared, strangled bellow echoing, tail flailed blind. Eli dodged the arc by inches, stepped in close, wrapped the slack end around a second pylon, cinched it. Beast dropped. Claws scrabbled. Rope bit scales, gurgle rose. Keth bellowed from his overlook. Invalid, unarmed trial only? Eli ignored him, tested the hold, one more rap, secure, Veil stabbed the halt command. Cease, subject reclassified, armed hazard code 47 alpha. Restraint tech exceeds baseline tolerances. Arena froze, drones hovered, Kresh wheezed, eyes rolling, Eli straightened, wiped sand from palms, turned to her podium, Hub overrode her feed. Adjudicator Soren, confirm escalation protocol. Keth's voice crashed in. Negative. I override, Arena Master authority supersedes. His braced claw smashed a panel. Outer gates groaned, colony perimeter barriers. Full release, pack hunts now. Veil's frill locked rigid. Outer gates, 4 more Kresh, kennel reserves for riot control, protocol forbade it. Keth medevac cattled, drunk on revenge. Marshal, stand down, hub quarantine. Gates split, shadows boiled out. Four beasts, leaner flankers, hit the sand running. Pack formation, Imperial training snapped in. They fanned toward Eli, ignoring the choked leader. Fangs gleamed. Tails synced for flank strikes. Eli's eyes narrowed. He dropped low, scanned lines again. 2 anchors left on this wall. He sprinted for the first. Lead flanker lunged. Eli vaulted the cable trench, boots cleared by a claw span. Grabbed the pylon, release midair, cable free. He whipped it overhead as he landed. Flanker skidded past. Eli looped it crossbody, snagged the second flanker's foreleg mid-charge. Yank, beast tumbled. Momentum dragged its packmate into the tangle. Eli hauled both cables together, not fused them, double hitch, farmer secure. Pulled them toward the central arena pit trap. Vale's console blared warnings. Hub voices overlapped. Reassess threat level, capability class 4 pending. Keth snarled. Flood the pit, drown him. Pit valves hissed. Sand liquefied below, Quickmeyer protocol. Eli felt the shift. Dropped the lines, beasts thrashed in the web. He pivoted to the final anchor, last cable, but pit spread fast. Flankers broke free, one severed its own limb in the rope. Charged solo. Eli sidestepped. Used its momentum to shove it into the mire. Beast sank, bellowing, 2 left. Converging, Vale keyed her override. All units lethal force authorized on Marshal. Breach of chain. Keth cut her. Pit fully flooded now. Eli balanced on the last pylon. Mire lapped his boots. He yanked the final cable free. No time for coil, whipped it straight at the pair. Line caught one's jaw. Eli leaped pylon to pylon, beastback ignored, landed atop the second creche, rode its buck, slid the cable under its neck. Cinched from behind, beast reared into the mire edge. Eli kicked off, rope dragged it under with its mate. Last beast charged the pylon Eli clung to. Structure groaned. Vale saw it, overload imminent. Eli jumped, landed in the tangled flankers' ropes, used them as swing, vaulted clear, hit sand dry, knotted the mess to the choked leader's line. Entire pack webbed now, thrashing. Sinking, pit pumps whined, mire clogged with scales and rope. Silence fell, beast stilled. Gurgling ended. Eli stood at mire edge, tested knots, all held. He uncoiled a spare loop from his belt, colony-issue tether overlooked, tossed it to the guard's catwalk. Pull him up. Process for meat. Guards stared, rifles drifted low. Keth's overlooked speakers crackled, no words. Vale exhaled, her claw hovered over reclassify. Hub pinged, adjudicator report. She watched Eli, hands steady, dusting palms again. Fields beyond beckoned, no glance back. Keth's braces word, he lurched from shadow. You! Arena drones locked on him, Vale's voice cut clean. Marshal Keth detained, authority revoked. Braced enforcers swarmed his platform. He thrashed once, went down. Eli walked to the gate. Guards parted, no chains this time. Vale's console dimmed, feed sealed, hub silent. Sand drank the last ripples, ropes gleamed taut, beast secured, empty. Keth's voice boomed from the dais. Silence the stands, live fire shock lances, now. Eli froze mid-step at the arena gate. Colony stands erupted in screams. Humans packed the benches, farmers, families, colonists dragged for the spectacle. Shock lances whined to life. Enforcers on the catwalks leveled them. Blue arcs crackled, first bolts slammed into the front row, bodies convulsed. Smoke rose from charred seats. Crowd surged back. Panic stampeded the rails. Eli's eyes locked on Keth. The marshal stood tall again, braces hummed. Enforcers had hesitated, his own kin frozen by the override glitch. Vale triggered. Keth ripped free. Command sash gleamed across his chest. Imperial weave, gold-threaded authority. He snarled into the overlook mic. All units fire on my mark. Eli's hand dropped to his belt. Ritual blade weighed there, heavy curved steel from the trial's opening right. Guard had handed it mocking. Prove your strength, mudrat. Eli gripped the hilt. Thumb tested balance. Crowd's wail peaked. Lances charged brighter. He drew. Arm snapped forward. Blade spun end over end. 20 meters. Air whistled. It struck true, buried to the hilt through Keth's sash. Pinned it to the dais rail. Fabric tore. Sash hung limp. Keth staggered. Claws scrabbled at the blade. Hilt quivered. Authority symbol severed clean. Stands fell quiet. One breath. Lances powered down. Enforcers gaped. Keth yanked the blade free. Sash shredded in his grip. He hurled it aside. Face twisted. Human filth, Yule. Vale moved. Sidearm cleared leather in a blur. She leveled it at Keth's chest. Stand down, Marshal. Voice cut the hush. Console flared under her claw. Public countersign flashed arena-wide. Eli Rourke protected detainee. Imperial seal locked in. Hollow projected huge, human silhouette shielded by her sigil. Keth barked a laugh. "Traitor's mark, you shield defiance?" He slapped his wrist hub. Warrant broadcast triggered. Alarms wailed. Hollow screens lit. Vale Soren, complicit in human insurrection. Bounty pinged every enforcer feed. Drones swiveled. Catwalks bristled. Eli stepped forward, no rush. Dust caked his boots. He scanned the stands. Colonists stared back, eyes wide, fists clenched. No panic now. One old farmer nodded. Eli's jaw set. Keth's play collapsed. Live fire order null. Sash ruined. Vale's counter burned brighter than any warrant. Keth whirled on her. Imperial Code 47 adjudicator compromised. Arrest her. Enforcers shifted. Rifles twitched toward Vale. She held steady, sidearm unwavering. Eli closed the gap to the dais ramp. 10 steps. 5. Keth's braces locked him in place. Overlook trapped him high. Drones hummed closer. Vale's claw danced her console. Override broadcast. Keth's warrant voided. Authority cascade denied. Screens flickered. Her seal overwrote his. Bounty reversed. Marshal Keth, suspect in abuse of command. Eli reached the ramp base, grabbed a loose rail rung, pulled up. Boots hit the dais edge. Keth spun, claws extended. "Stay down, worm." Eli ducked the swipe, rolled inside. Grabbed Keth's brace strut, twisted. Metal groaned. Marshal lurched off balance. Vale fired. Warning bolt scorched Keth's shoulder pauldron. Armor smoked. He howled, dropped to one knee. Enforcers froze again. Her override pinged their visors. Ceasefire Imperial. Eli pinned Keth's arm. Knee drove into the joint. Crack echoed. Brace sparked. Marshal thrashed. Eli wrenched the wrist hub free, smashed it under heel. Sparks died. Broadcast cut. Stand silent. Drones powered idle. Vale holstered. Claw hovered over Eli's status. She met his eyes, no words. He released Keth. Marshal slumped, claws scraped sand. Eli stood, ritual blade lay nearby. He scooped it, wiped clean on his thigh, turned to the stands. Colonists rose, fists pumped slow. No cheers, just nods. Keth rasped. "You'll burn for this." "Fleet command," Vale's console chimed. "Incoming priority, Imperial hub," her claw accepted. Hollow bloomed, Fleet Admiral's crest. Voice boomed. "Adjudicator Soren, report on trial deviation." She straightened. Marshal Keth exceeded mandate. Human subject compliant, protected status active. Incident sealed. Pause stretched. Admiral's glyph pulsed. "Sash desecration confirmed?" "Affirmative. Authority revoked per Protocol 19. Silence. Glyph dimmed. "Proceed. Fleet oversight dispatched." Link severed. Keth's head snapped up. Eyes bulged. "You can't." Eli sheathed the blade, walked past. Vale fell in step. Gate guards parted wider. Stands watched. No sound. Arena emptied quiet. Eli hit the tunnel mouth. Vale's boots echoed behind. He didn't look back. Fields called. Work waited. She caught pace. Claw brushed her sidearm. "Rurk," he grunted, kept walking. "Your throw, pinpoint, no tremor." Eli shrugged. "Farm tools standard." Tunnel lights dimmed. Her breath hitched once. Silence followed. They emerged to sunlight. Colony paths bustled. No enforcers, no drones, just humans, eyes averted, respectful. Vale stopped, watched him go. Claw clenched her console, protected detainee status glowed permanent. Eli vanished into the furrows. Hands already flexed for soil. She exhaled, turned to her shuttle. Hub pinged, fleet inbound, quiet held. Keth's dais stood empty. Sash shreds fluttered in the breeze. Eli plowed the first row. Blade edge hoe bit deep. Soil parted clean. Vale's shuttle lifted, arced toward orbit. Fields swallowed him whole. Silence. But wait, no, end on silence after climax. Need to build to 1,800 words. This is short. Expand beats. Expand with tension, sensory danger. Stay Eli POV. Let's confirm, third limited, one character. From start, Eli's view. Describe from Eli. Sees Keth order, feels crowd panic, calculates throw. His past sealed, treats danger like weather. Add combat, after pin, more fight. Beats. After Vale countersign, Keth warrant, then escalation. Vertical, new category, precision weapon use, symbolic dominance. Then terminal, pacing valley, brief silence after throw. Yes, I had one breath. Expand, more on crowd terror, enforcer's reaction, Vale's actions from Eli's view. His competence, disciplined hands. Farm past, throwing like hay fork or something. No explain. Add low intensity, after pin, brief pause where Keth realizes, then Vale acts. Then Keth warrant, Eli climbs, disarms physically. Climax, hub call, Admiral accepts. End silence. To length, add details in action. Eli saw the lances charge, blue coils glowing hotter. He measured wind, distance. Keth's stance. arm cocked, etc. Enforcers almost fire again. Vale's decision shone through her posture from Eli view. Cross-species bond hint, her eyes on him. Protective. Okay, rewrite fuller, Keth bellowed from the dais. Live fire shock lances, target the stands, enforce silence. Eli halted at the gate. Shock lances on catwalk snapped active. High-pitched whine pierced the air. Blue plasma coils ignited. Front row colonists dove. Screams ripped through the packed benches. A bolt lanced out. Hit a woman's shoulder. She jerked, rigid smoke curling from fabric. Next bolt scorched a man's leg. He toppled, convulsing. Crowd crushed back against rails. Children wailed. Farmers shielded families. Eli's gaze fixed on Keth. Marshall towered on the overlook, braces humming steady. Enforcers who'd swarmed him earlier backed off. His override glitch faltered. Command sash draped perfect across his plasteel chest. Keth jabbed a claw at the mic. Full barrage on my mark. Break them. Eli palmed the ritual blade. Trial relic, 5 kilos of balanced obsidian-edged steel. Guard had sneered it into his hand hours ago. Eli's fingers curled firm. He indexed drop, spin rate, 22 meters, slight cross breeze from vents. Keth's sash fluttered left. Eli drew. Elbow locked, released, blade whipped free, rotated flawless. Buried point first through the sash, pinned it dead center to the dais rail. Gold threads parted, sash sagged, skewered, stands hushed. One held breath, lances dimmed uncertain. Keth clawed at the hilt, yanked. Blade held fast, sash tore half free. He ripped it loose, shreds dangling from his fist. Eli exhaled even, no flex, just fact. Keth hurled the rags down. Insolent primate drones target the human. Overlook guns swiveled. Red dots danced on Eli's chest. Vale exploded into motion. Sidearm barked from holster. She aimed centermass at Keth. Cease, Marshal! Console blazed under her grip. Hollow screens ignited arena-wide. Eli Rourke, protected detainee, adjudicator countersign. Her imperial glyph locked it unbreakable. Projection towered. Human form ringed in her authority shield. Keth roared. Wrist hub slapped active. Warrant broadcast flooded feeds. Sirens wailed. Every screen flashed. Vale Soren complicit in defiance. Human insurrection accomplice. Bounty escalated. Lethal force authorized. Drones locked duel. Catwalk enforcers raised lances anew. Rifles tracked Vale. Eli moved. Gate cleared. He sprinted ramp stairs. Boots pounded metal. Keth tracked him. Claws raked air. Come closer, I'll gut you. Vale sidestepped. Sidearm steady. Enforcers, hub override. Keth's command null. Her voice projected calm steel. Consoles pinged colony-wide. Visors flickered on enforcer helms. Rifles dipped fraction. Keth lunged rail edge. Braces boosted him down. Landed thudding. Charged Eli mid-ramp. Eli vaulted low. Shoulder checked the knee joint. Keth's brace locked. Servos whined overload. Marshall stumbled. Eli rolled past. Came up inside guard. Grabbed firing arm. Jammed elbow into pit. Bone equivalent crunched. Keth swung wild. Fist grazed Eli's jaw. Stars burst. Eli tasted copper. Ducked next. Planted foot. Heaved. Keth flipped over hip. Crashed dais base. Sand sprayed. Drones fired warning arcs. Ground scorched near Vale. She blasted one midair. Wreckage sparked across the ramp. Vale yanked Eli's collar. Dragged him through the gate. Enforcer sirens howled behind. She fired blind over her shoulder. Lance bolts scorched the frame. Hangar access 50 meters. Eli matched her stride, no questions. Boots echoed in the service tunnel. Red emergency strips pulsed walls. Vale slapped her wrist hub. Override code punched in. Blast door groaned open. Impound hangar yawned ahead. Patrol skiffs racked in clamps. Drone tenders humming dormant. She shoved him inside. Door hissed shut, locked with her adjudicator glyph. Alarms throbbed. External feeds crackled. Keth's voice boomed colony-wide. Soren traitor, Rourke terrorist, lethal intercept. Vale spun. Sidearm swept the space, empty bays. One medbay alcove glowed soft blue at the far bulkhead. She grabbed Eli's arm again, pulled him toward it. In here, stabilize, then we signal command. He planted his feet. Eyes locked on the nearest skiff. Patrol model, clamps glowing active. No time. Her glyph locked the medbay door, sealed them in the narrow pod. Auto-scanner word. Vitals pinged her hub. Eli's jaw bruised, ribs tender. Minor. Keth's damage held. She keyed transmit. Priority recall, adjudicator Vale Soren. Detainee secured. Marshal Keth assaulted, warrant fabricated. Request immediate. Static hissed. Channel dead. Her hub blinked red. Access denied. Imperial seal fractured. What? Eli moved, slid past her, out the med bay. Back into the hangar proper. He crouched under the skiff's belly. Fingers pried a maintenance panel, ripped it free with a grunt. Wires spilled, conduits glowed. Vale burst after him, rifle up. "Rurk, stand down, that's Imperial property." He didn't look. Pulled a multi-tool from his belt. Human-make rusted, jury-rigged. Thumb flicked it open, screwdriver bit. He stabbed into the clamp controller, twisted, sparks flew. "Farm maintenance." "Sabotage," her voice cracked. Hub screamed alerts, hangar lockdown failed. Clamps disengaging. She lunged, grabbed his shoulder. He shrugged her off like dust, continued twisting. Panel guts rearranged under his hands, wires spliced bare. No schematics, no scans, just steady probes. Clamp servos whined, released the skiff with a hydraulic hiss. Craft dropped an inch, settled free. Vale's mind reeled, Imperial tech, quantum-locked biometric failsafes. Humans barely piloted loaders, this farmer rewired it blind. In seconds, her finger tightened on the trigger. "Cease, or I—" He yanked the last connection, stood. Wiped hands on his trousers, skiff ramp hissed open, cockpit lights flickered alive. "Keys are in the ignition, always." Sirens peaked. Hangar doors rattled, external breach in progress. Drones swarmed the outer feeds. Keth's bracer signal closed fast. Vale's hub spat garbage. All channels dark, colony net severed at the root. This human hadn't just freed a ship, he'd gutted her command. Eli vaulted the ramp, dropped into the pilot's nest. Console bloomed under his palms, no neural link, manual overrides only. He flipped breakers. Cold start sequence roared. Engines coughed plasma, she hesitated. Rifle tracked him, one shot ended, but Keth's forces hammered the outer door, her glyph tainted now, bounty on her hide, no options. "Get in!" His voice cut flat, no plea. Order, she holstered, leaped aboard. Ramp sealed, strapped in co-pilot. Eli punched the launch yoke, manual thrust, skiff lurched. Alarms desinced, his rewiring lagged the master clock. Hangar doors buckled inward, enforcers poured through, lances flared, plasma burst. Skiff rocketed free, G-forces pinned her. Vale gripped the crash bar. Feeds shattered, Keth's roar drowned in acceleration whine. Void swallowed them, stars wheeled, skiff stabilized on his corrections, no autopilot, pure stick. Her breath steadied, hub flickered, partial link restored, but locked to his overrides now. She probed the console. Clamp logs replayed, human tool bypassed every safeguard, spliced power relays like threading a needle. What colony taught that? Eli leveled out, scanned scopes, pursuit signatures bloomed aft, 3 skiffs gaining, patrol wing, standard. Vale keyed her slate. "I can spoof." "Done." He tapped a jury rig, her slate blanked, pursuit ghosts faded, transponders mirrored now, invisible heard, she stared, Imperial encryption, cracked with exposed wire and twist, farmers fixed fences, not this. Skiff banked into asteroid shadow. Silent drift, engines cold, pursuit streaked past, veered blind, quiet settled. Vale's claws dug the armrest, watched his hands, steady on controls, no sweat, no boasts. He met her gaze once, nodded forward. "Pick a vector." Her voice emerged small. "Frontier relay, neutral space." He adjusted, thrust whispered back online, skiff slipped away, pursuit vanished from scopes, alarms silenced. Vale exhaled, Imperial adjudicator reduced to passenger, on a human's hijack. Eli's multi-tool lay on the dash. Still warm, she reached for her hub, paused, no transmission, not yet. Void stretched empty ahead, skiff hummed steady. His hands never left the yoke, silence held. Vale slammed the cabin lights dead. Darkness swallowed the skiff. Consoles dimmed to emergency glow, no emissions. No heat bloom, sensors starved, pursuit signatures sharpened on scopes. 4 skiffs now, Keth's wing closing the gap, 2,000 clicks and burning hot. She locked the blackout protocol, floated inert amid the debris field. Asteroid shards tumbled lazy around them. Imperial hunters streaked through the black, scanners sweeping wide. Eli's hands ghosted the yoke, no thrust, no corrections, skiff matched the debris spin perfectly, a rock among rocks. One hunter veered close, pinged empty space, passed without a ripple, Vale's crest flattened. Humans evaded like this. No cloak fields, no decoys, just nothing. Eli's fingers twitched, trimmed a microburst from the maneuvering thrusters. Hand only, no autopilot link. Skiff nudged through a tightening debris knot. Shards the size of cargo haulers grazed past at 500 meters per second. He rode the chaos, eyes on the forward glass, adjusted yaw with bare palms. Skiff threaded the needle, no alarms, no scrape. Vale gripped her slate, hub partial, pursuit ghosts faded again. They ghosted deeper into the field, engines cold. Debris clattered faint against the hull, quiet stretched. Her breath echoed in the dark cabin. Eli's silhouette steady at controls. No words, no scan sweeps, just hands on metal. She exhaled slow. Crest relaxed a fraction. Frontier relay still hours out. Neutral space. Escape viable. Eli's gaze flicked to scopes. Pursuit reformed ahead. Keth's lead skiff burned vector straight. Flankers peeled wide. Her claws tapped the slate. Encrypted access. Imperial case file on Keth. Locked triple key. She bypassed with her adjudicator override. File bloomed. Quota logs, off-book. Extermination tallies for 3 colonies. Human outliers. Non-compliant yields. Keth's signature, forged compliance reports, bodies uncounted, burned as harvest accidents. Vale's blood chilled. Marshall's authority masked genocide. Her own chain of command greenlit it. Trial of strength, cover for cull, she snapped the slate shut. Keth runs quotas, illegal wipes, your farm was next. Eli nodded once, eyes on scopes. No surprise, no question, debris thinned. Open black ahead. Keth's flagship loomed scopes large, dagger-class enforcer. Sensor spine extended like a claw, primary array, blind without it. Eli's hands moved, yoke forward, thrusters spooled manual, no automation, skiff surged, Vale's crest spiked. Collision vector. That's suicide. Standard plow? His voice flat, trimmed thrust again, hand feel only, skiff aligned dead-on with the spine, scope screamed proximity, flagship locked them, tractor beams primed. Keth's voice boomed open channel. Soren, human, surrender or burn. Eli ignored it, adjusted roll, matched the flagship's drift, debris wake buffeted them. He countered smooth, zero deviation. Vale's hub pinged, partial command linked to flagship, adjudicator off, she could spoof halt. By time, but Eli's multi-tool lay ready. He bypassed her input again, locked her out. Skiff accelerated, 500 clicks per second closing. Keth's skiffs wheeled, fire solutions painted. Yield adjudicator or share his pyre. Her claws flexed, file burned in her grip. Quotas, proof, but ramming the spine. Human madness. One hit shreds sensors, blinds the beast. But countermeasures, Eli feathered thrust. Skiff dove under a tumbling boulder, surfaced clean. Spine filled the glass. Lattice arrays gleamed. Point defense turrets swiveled. He trimmed final approach. Hand precise as seeding. Skiff slipped the turret arcs, ghosted into blind zone. Vale braced. Impact in 30, quiet fell. Cabin hummed low, Eli's hands steady, no tension, no sweat, debris spun past silent. Flagship grew monstrous, her crest quivered, farmers plowed fields. Not flagships, 20 seconds, Keth roared channel-wide. Tractors lock, fire on my... Eli punched evasive burst, skiff yawed hard, slewed tractor lock, point defense lanced plasma, missed by meters. He rolled inverted, trimmed thrust pulse. Skiff vaulted the plasma wake. Realigned, spine dead ahead. 10, Vale's slate vibrated, incoming override from Keth, she crushed it. Quota logs, transmit now? Eli shook head, eyes locked forward. 5, flagship shuddered, countermeasures deployed, chaff clouds billowed, sensor ghosts multiplied. Eli ignored them, hands danced yoke. Skiff pierced the cloud, clean vector, impact. Skiff hull kissed the spine base, no crunch, no explosion. Eli's trim held them flush. Grapples deployed manual, latched molecular, Vale jolted. Alarms wailed, flagship bucked, but they stuck. Eli killed thrust, grabbed multi-tool, spliced into the spine port, direct neural link, no handshake, raw override, flagship scopes blanked. All 4 skiffs halted mid-burn, weapons safed. Engines spooled down, Keth's voice cracked. What systems freeze? Adjudicator countermand. Vale stared. Eli's tool hummed, spine arrays folded inward, flagship went dark, weapons cold, comms silenced, he unlatched, reverse thrust, skiff peeled free, spine dangled, crippled, pursuit dead, flagship blind, Eli banked away, hands easy on yoke. Debris field receded, Vale's slate pinged, full hub restore, but locked to his splices now, she probed, no access, human overrides nested Imperial code. Quiet cabin, his gaze forward, multi-tool cooled on dash, she exhaled. Marshall broken, proof in hand, human at controls. Silence held, skiff slipped into black. Vale's fingers stabbed the slate transmit key. Quota file flooded open tribunal bands. Keth's padded numbers scrolled live. Falsified compliance tallies, skimmed colony tithes rerouted to his personal vaults. Every enforcer ship in the sector pinged receipt. Imperial oversight nodes lit up red. Keth's roar exploded across emergency override. Adjudicator, cease that broadcast, treason, she cut him. Slate locked to colony defense array. Human overrides nested deeper now. Eli's splice held firm. No countermands pierced. Skiff yawed hard. Eli banked toward colony airlock. Debris from the crippled spine trailed them. Flagship loomed blind in the void, scopes dark, arrays retracted like wounded limbs. Keth's voice spiked. All units, weapons free. Burn the skiff. Incinerate the colony if you must. Silence answered. Vale checked scopes. 4 enforcer vessels drifted. Engines cold, no locked tones, no firing solutions. Eli's hack had propagated, sensor blackout chained to fire control interlocks. Imperial protocol demanded visual confirmation for live targets. Blind ships couldn't shoot. One corvette twitched, thrusters fired erratically. Collision warning blared on her slate. It grazed its sister ship. Hull plates buckled, no pursuit formed. Eli's voice cut quiet. Their sinks broken, own safety overrides kicking in. She glanced at him, hands steady on yoke, face calm as plowed earth. Keth bellowed again. Fire, damn you, override protocols, a new voice intruded, Fleet Admiral's tone ice over steel. Marshal Keth, stand down. Tribunal feed confirms quota fraud. Your command authority is revoked. All vessels powered down weapons await pickup. Static crackled. Keth's channel went dead. Vale exhaled. Slate confirmed, Admiral's codes authentic. Broadcast had rippled up chain. Oversight tribunals across 3 sectors pulled Keth's records. His ships isolated, drifting hulks. Eli trimmed for docking. Colony airlock beacon pulsed green. Skiff aligned smooth. She probed the hub again, Eli's overrides unyielding. Fleet network slave to colony defenses now. One human multi-tool had rewritten the rules, docking clamps engaged. Airlock cycled. Eli stood, grabbed his tool from dash, nodded once to her, stepped out. Vale lingered, watched scopes. Enforcer ships powered to minimal. Life support only. Tugs dispatched from orbital yards, no fight left. Keth's flagship hung silent, dark. She rose, followed Eli's path into the colony lock. Airlock sealed behind her. Eli walked ahead, toward the fields, back straight. Fleet stood down in the black.